everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that Ancient Religion Volume 2 is now available. Make sure you guys check it out. Also, again, books, anybody who's waiting for books, as I said before, you guys will get it. We won't forget anybody. And appreciate your patience. Also, another reminder, November 29th, for anybody who's in the Las Vegas area, make sure you guys come out and check out Gospel of Hip Hop happening November 29th at the Housel's House on the campus of UNLV. I will be a panelist there speaking about, hip hop and the effects that it has on the Black community and how we can use hip hop to fix, what's taking place in the Black community. I'll be joined by other panelists, and it'll also be moderated by Taylor Cummings, who is a PhD student and also who's organizing the event. So you're here November 29th. Make sure you guys come and check it out. And before I get into the video, I want to talk about some personal economic questions a lot of people had. Also, there'll be another stock market video coming soon. There's a lot of information that has come up. A lot of things have been changing with the market. As I said, it would. Hold on to the stocks I told you to hold on to. Trust me on this. It's going to take some time, but they're going to come up. Make sure you guys are getting set and getting these stocks, set and on your portfolio, as soon as possible. As you have been noticing, they are not letting you buy a lot of these stocks. So if you pay attention to the stocks that I showed you guys, that I mentioned, a lot of them you cannot buy anymore. They understand what's coming and what's going to happen. They don't want everybody to get rich off of it. So if you got it when I told you to get in, you got in. Now, it's different levels you have to be on in certain stock portfolios they want you to have before they even let you buy or get into buying certain stocks. We've seen this happen with the Dow Jones. Remember, you can't just go and buy Dow Jones stocks. If they understand what's happening and what's taking place, you guys got to know how this stuff works and how they know knowledge has increased, and they're not going to let everybody come up off of, what's going to take place. But personal economics, put the video out. A lot of people have a lot of questions on this, and you guys got to understand, as I said, you qualify for a lot of stuff. A lot of people are just too conscious. I don't want to take nothing from the government and the government this, and I ain't trying to beg the government for nothing. This is your money. You got to understand how to use this system to your benefit. You can't be, a conscious person that is for, Black entrepreneurship and then be against taking, what's owed to you and using the system to your benefit. Because to be an entrepreneur, you have to do that. You have to understand how to use the system to benefit you. You cannot open a business without going through government channels and understanding how to get the resources you need to do so. So don't be so, just one-sided and think that this is about, white man shit and take it from the white man and this and that, when they're using you to establish what they already established. Know how to use the system to get out what you need to get out for you to grow and to definitely grow as an entrepreneur and to, take your family and your finances to the next level. But it's a lot of programs. It's a lot of things that you guys don't understand that you qualify for and that you can get. There's no way, if you got a credit score over 620 and 800, between 620 and 800, you shouldn't be needing money. There's no way. You should have what you need. Now, if you're online, if you're looking at a lot of these sites, you're going to see a lot of things pop up for companies who understand what I'm going to tell you and know how to use it to get money out of you. They're going to use you to get money out of you. These are things that I want you to understand, because there's a lot of scams going on out there, and a lot of people have had questions and have family members who's going through this, because it's the same thing that people was using with the PUA or the, PPP, just using people's information and ignorance to make money off of them. A lot of people could have gotten that money, PPP and PUA on their own, but they went through people and paid them a lot of money to do something they could have done for themselves. So what you have now is a lot of companies that's coming up, and they're basically targeting people who don't understand what they qualify for and basically using them to get money, get loans or what have you, but paying them to basically do what you can do on your own. And a lot of times people don't mind that, because, you'd rather have some money than no money, but you got to understand how this stuff works. So, we're going to get into this next DVD. We're going to talk about all this information. But right off the bat, if you have 620, 800 credit score, you already qualify between $40,000 and $100,000, depending on your credit history. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, anybody who got a score like that, a lot of people do. And a lot of people work. A lot of people also have built their credit back up since, the pandemic. And you got to understand now that there's a lot of companies, as I talked about this before, a lot of companies have been given money to basically fix the economy and to help people rebuild their credit. So like PPP, the PUA money people was getting for unemployment is a part of that whole package that was put out there when this happened with the pandemic. So again, if you didn't read that whole thing, a lot of people didn't read the package and everything that they put out there. So the government basically put out billions of dollars. And, it's basically reaching out to bankers and lawyers and companies and saying, hey, because you guys got to understand how this stuff works. They say, hey, we have X amount of dollars. We need you guys to go out there and get people to qualify for this. We're going to pay you this amount of money for every person you get to get this money. Sounds crazy, but it's exactly what PPP and PUA was. You had Blue Acorn. Blue Acorn was the company a lot of people went through to get the PPP. And Blue Acorn is basically paid for this process. So this is what's happening. So now, if you have Credit Karma, it's going to blow a lot of you away. I'm going to show you right now real quick how if you have between 620 and 800 credit score, how you can get money in the next couple days. Some of you today. And all you got to do is sign up for Credit Karma. If you don't have Credit Karma, you need to have Credit Karma. You need to have Experian. Experian Boost is real. It does actually boost your credit score when you sign up. But a lot of people don't understand how this stuff works. So if you have Credit Karma is like the hub. Credit Karma works with so many banks and loan companies because now, what I've been saying before, debt is money. Our whole country is based on debt. The money you have in your pocket, if you have paper money, is debt. We talked about all this. So this is a debt-based economy and everything is backed by debt. Debt more than ever has now become a commodity. So now you have insurance companies and you have all kinds of companies that's buying debt. And it's so much money that's being made on debt. Again, tell people all the time, financing cars, they don't care. It's so much money that's being made off of one car if a person defaults. They kind of want you to. So if you think about it, you go into a car dealership and let's say you put down $5,000 for a car, right? $5,000 for a $30,000 car, right? Bank is going to finance you. Interest rate is going to be high. And they're going to say, okay, you put down $5,000. Common sense to tell you, put down $5,000 on a $35,000 or $30,000 car, only owe $25,000. It don't work like that. So with a high interest rate, the $5,000 you put down, you might as well put down $1,000 because it's not going to matter at all. You're going to be paying back probably $12,000, $13,000 on that $30,000 or more. All that cash is going to do is determine what your payments is going to be. So the more cash you put down, the lower your payments can possibly be. And that's how they determine that. But really, it doesn't matter because you're going to still be paying for probably twice the money that the car is worth when you think about it. So if you default, they come and repo your car. Same thing is going to happen to the next person, especially if you kept the car in good shape, car is running well. Then they're going to come and repossess the car. It's going to mess up your credit. It's going to end up back on some dealer's lot, and the process is going to happen all over again. And this is what they do. So, they don't care if they give you a car loan, which is the fastest way to build your credit, by the way. It's because the car is tracked. They have trackers in the car. They don't care. They'll find the car. And it's the fastest way to build credit. But at the same time, it's easy for them because if you default, they're going to make money off you anyway. They're going to get their money regardless. So understand real quick, Credit Karma. If you don't understand, I'm about to put you on to something. Make sure that you sign up. Now, it's not just Credit Karma. You have Capital One. Capital One, a lot of you guys probably have Capital One. Capital One is another company that you put in your information. It'll monitor your credit score, help you build your credit score. But after a while with Capital One, they'll offer you a card, certain rate, what have you. Now with Credit Karma is better because Credit Karma is going to give you real answers straight up about what you qualify for based upon your credit score and your credit history. So if you're a person working on your credit and trying to build your credit, you want to be on Credit Karma. So what Credit Karma will do is based upon your score, it'll tell you straight up, hey, you qualify for this credit card, for this loan, how much you can get, and how likely your chances are to get it. and if they recommend it or not based upon your credit report. So with Credit Karma as well, you can also put in your bank information, bills that you pay, and so on and so forth. So that stuff you enter in there. If you're a person who pay your bills on time, if you're a person that take care of business, this is what you want to do, because when you put the stuff in there and they can see that your account is being subtracted to pay bills, it boosts your credit score. So then eventually over time, you'll qualify for more things. So it'll tell you, hey, you qualify for a loan, X amount of dollars. The chances of you getting it is exceptional. You should apply. You'll get the money. And based on your bank account and, your deposit history, so on and so forth, we estimate you can afford this, and this is how long it's going to take you to pay it off. Easy stuff. So a lot of people don't know how this stuff works. People think once you put your information in, credit score is going to drop. In some cases that is true, but it always goes back up. If you are a person who don't monitor your credit score, you're tripping. You need to be involved and have yourself signed up to one of these credit institutions that's monitoring your credit. And if you pay your bills on time, if you're paying your bills, if you ain't egregious with it, it's going to build your credit if you use these things to help you out. And these whole companies was put out there for this reason, because credit is a problem. This is a debt-based economy. Everything is about debt. So they want to know that, hey, if you're getting out of it, if you're building up your credit score, then you're a candidate to, get into this whole debt race. Even if you're financing or getting a loan or what have you, it's debt. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of you guys can use these loans to start a business, quit your job, or, start up a hobby or what have you, anything that's going to bring you, side money or side hustle or what have you. This is what a lot of people do. So I know people who I've helped with this, who's taking the money to open clothing businesses, to open stores, restaurants, or what have you. And this is a way to do it. Now, it's not impossible. Everybody thinks this stuff is hard. Oh, I can't do it. It just requires discipline. That's it. You need to be disciplined in paying your bills. You need to set a plan together and stop bullshitting with your life. Stop just going all crazy with your money and just really put together a plan. Especially at, if you're in your 30s, it's like, what are you waiting for? Like, you should have your shit together now. But this is a way to do it. And with Credit Karma, they kind of sort of set you up to where you can monitor everything and be on point and on track with how you spend your money, and get alerts about, your score goes up, if somebody ran your credit, so on and so forth. This is to help you build your credit. It's one of the biggest things I talked about in personal economics. Credit is important, but now more than ever, you can use your credit to really get ahead and really, help yourself out. So we're going to get into this more in this video, this next video, DVD coming out, but also want to get into people who have trouble with student loans. I know you guys seeing, all the student loan forgiveness and everything like that. It's a real quick way for you to fix this. And they probably tried to contact you about it, but a lot of people, we ignore those emails and calls about, hey, we can help you with your student loan debt and so on and so forth. But my whole thing is for people, if you don't want to go back to school, then eventually you're going to pay it off. But for anybody who's actually trying to go back to school and finish, you dropped out because you got pregnant, or for whatever reason you dropped out for, you didn't finish. It's easier for you, because all you really have to do is just get back on a program, which we're going to get into, which can basically, $5 a month for 7 months. And that's all they want to do is $5 to $15 a month for a few months. And they want to see you make that consistent payment. And once you do that, they'll basically almost like refinance your student loan, sort of speaking, to where, okay, we're going to give you the money to go back to school so you can finish it. And we're just going to add this money. We're going to reduce the money that you owe, but then put the remainder on the back end of your new student loan. The thing is, you just got to finish school. And if you finish, the debt that you owe, the old debt, will be either wiped out completely, or in some cases, the whole debt can be wiped out completely. It's a lot to it. We'll get into it. But it's one of the things I'm seeing with a lot of people not understanding what you qualify for, what you're able to get, especially if you're married. People don't understand the benefits of being married and how, two people can accomplish so much. It's just a lot of people are not getting this information. It's one of the things that, I wanted to really get into more. And personal economics, but just wasn't enough time. With so much in those videos, but it's so much you qualify for, especially if you're trying to open a business and marriage. We're going to get into all this information, but you gotta understand how to use, especially now more than ever, how to use the system to your benefit and see what you qualify for, and a lot of stuff you could take advantage of to get money and to get ahead. Even if, that people seeing now. So if you had employees, if you got the PPPs, a lot of stuff popping up, how they giving you $20,000, $30,000 per employee for people who had employees who was paying taxes. So basically, they're giving you money to help cover your taxes per employee. So a lot of people seeing a lot of money off of this. My lawyer, same thing. He sent me the information same thing with PPP. My lawyer, that's what I was telling you guys in the video, LegalZoom. So with LegalZoom, it's a thing you could sign up for. I think it's like $1,500 a year, $1,500 to $3,000 a year. And you basically have a constant lawyer. Even though I went to law school and everything like that, I know my stuff, but it's still good to have people who is sending you constant information about things your company qualifies for that you should sign up. So I had my lawyer basically send me emails about, hey, for the PPP, fill this information out, you should get money. I did. So it's the same thing with this. Hey, you have employees, say, fill this information out, you should get this. Same situation. And it's so many things I've seen that, average people qualify for that you can get that we just don't know. Grants, all kinds of stuff. We're going to go into all this stuff in the video. And I'll walk you guys through a lot of this stuff, but it's a lot that you qualify for. It's so much money out there that we're not taking advantage of. And it's one of the things that I said before, that this is what they know is going to happen. And you have other people who, they don't know either, but they necessarily don't need the money, and we need the money. So it's like, they're actually out there trying to get people to, sign up for the stuff to see if they qualify. A lot of people are renting apartments right now who don't understand that they can get a mortgage. Your goal is, as I said, get your credit score over 620. It's not hard. You can do it in less than a year. You can do it in no time. And one of the reasons I want to put this video out is because income tax time is coming up. A lot of you guys are going to blow that money on dumb shit. And I'm telling you now, do the right thing so you can put yourself in a better financial situation and take advantage of a lot of these programs that's here to help you out. Okay, so now let's get into this video. A lot of information on that later on. You'll see in the DVD. But Trump, as we all know, as I said, he will announce his candidacy for president again. He's going to run. As I said before, the Republicans is coming for the House. They're coming for the Senate. They lost the Senate, but the House they'll have. And that's just to create a lot more confusion. And that tells me that, Trump's, and if you pay attention to what they're talking about on CNN, this race baiting and just all kinds of bullshit all over CNN. It's crazy right now. But that just tells you, based upon the talk, the rhetoric, is Trump, he's basically going to almost make it so Biden gets another shot, because he doesn't have the party united. He doesn't have much Republican support. And, the Republicans lost in key states, and they lost the Senate. And, a lot of people are looking to Trump and blaming Trump for him just being involved with a lot of these candidates who ran, and that hurting them and winning a lot of those states. So a lot of these Republicans who was cool with Trump and, had history with him, they lost because, it's Trump. So now you have with Trump running, of course, president's the president, and we'll see who he ends up running against. But the people who's going to fight for, the primary, and, having Trump, if he wins the nomination, it's just going to be, a lot of people just going to believe that Biden is going to just take it because they don't want to deal with Trump again. And that could possibly be one of the reasons why he's back, for that reason, to basically make it so it's understandable how Biden gets another term, or, he might assume, the presidency again. But as I said before, I talked about this, how fitting for what they want to happen under a Jewish president. It makes more sense that way. But we'll see leading up to that. We had this, election, 2 more years, it'll be again, and then the presidency as well. But now with this control of the Senate with the Democrats slight, and then the Republicans in the House, and as you can see what's happening with the arguments, again, it's still all bullshit. It's bullshit. But the talk, as you can see, it's just giving them more and more excuses to say why this didn't get done, or why this is that way, or why the economy is this way, and why trade, so on and so forth, is, not doing well. War, everything else. A lot of reasons that they point into the economy as dropping and prices going up on stuff. It's a problem. It's an issue. So now you got to have somebody that's going to run on that. And it's the same stuff. Make it like we can help. We're going to do something when they never do anything. So you also got to remember that, when they had the whole thing with the Capitol riots or what have you, it was a lot of politicians that was in the crowd. So remember, they went through those videos, and it's a lot of politicians, a lot of people who ran, this election, who was there when they was, running into, the Capitol building. But, a lot of those guys, they didn't win, and a lot of that information came out. Again, it's another one of the reasons that they blame Trump, because he set this whole thing up for people to go do what they did. Even still, grown people, you grown. Somebody tell you to go do something, you shouldn't do it if it's going to be as chaotic as, what they did. But a lot of those dudes actually ran and actually, made the ballot and got a lot of votes. But, just a lot of that information cost them. And you have a lot of people that don't want people attached to Trump and power, because when Trump, which I guess everybody knew he was going to run, because when Trump, comes up, it's going to hurt the party. So a lot of Republicans understand it's hurting the party. But again, like I said, smoke and mirrors, all this shit. What's going to happen is going to happen anyway. But these people are here to give you a reason as to why, to make it make sense. So we're looking at this stuff and it's bickering back and forth. And as I said before, it's common sense. These people are not good for the job. In any corporation or company, when you have people who are not good at their position, who is messing it up for the entire company, and the company is not functioning correctly because of these people, you fire those people. You get rid of those people. This country is ran like a company. We have a president. We basically, the Senate and representatives is basically the board members or what have you. And we're the workers. We're the workers at the company when you really pay attention to how this whole thing is structured. In any company, when you see these problems and these people having these problems in the company, they have to go because they are affecting the progress of the company. It's just we're not doing that. Year after year after year, we allow these same people to keep bickering and win these seats and spend 30 years in these same seats and ain't did shit. Nothing is happening. It's the same thing over and over again. Meanwhile, we just working, to try to keep the factory going and try to keep food on the table, what have you. And we think we have a say-so in what's happening, but we don't. We have the illusion of a say-so. But let's keep it real. If we all had a say-so in what we wanted to happen, we would want something to happen that would be beneficial for us, to continue working. We haven't gotten it. So, raise minimum wage. Healthcare, so on and so forth. I mean, who doesn't want to live in a country that has free healthcare? So it doesn't make sense that we're supposed to be the greatest nation and all this and that. And we go to other countries, they got free healthcare, free dental. They don't have to pay for none of this shit. It just makes sense that if we have all this money, we paying all this tax money, that we shouldn't have to worry about something like healthcare. It's crazy in this country. And, we don't have it. We don't have it. We still got to deal with this stuff. We still got to worry about bills and stuff. It's something that the people should not have to worry about. And I always talk about Sweden, me living there and just seeing how that economy works and how, you're not going to get billed $500 if you got to go to the hospital. That's just stupid. If you go to the hospital, you don't have to worry about nothing's going to get taken care of. They're also going to make sure that you're paid for the time that you're out, because that's part of the law. How we don't have that here? It don't make sense, because we're electing people who are not close to running on anything like that. And they're trying to convince you that we don't have the money for it, but we give away billions to other countries. And that's the politician's job, to convince you that the money is not there, that we don't have access to it. It's a problem. It's an issue. Something is always the matter, and we can't solve it because this Democrat or Republican is blocking it or not voting or doesn't understand it, doesn't want to, has an issue or problem with some other Republican or Democrat. It's stupid. And it's like people dying. and they arguing over stupid shit, what you said or who voted for who, and people dying, people starving. And it's like, just do what's best for the people, but they won't, because it's not about that. It's not about that at all. So again, like, with the election, people who stood in line and voted, you feel good, you got your little button or what have you, but what did it do for you? How is it going to benefit you? You've been doing this shit for years. Same job, no raise, no free healthcare. The basic things that we should get as a people from our government that we all agree on, at least the healthcare. I mean, at least that. I want to know if, I got fucking heart problems or cancer. I ain't got to worry about paying for that shit. I ain't got to worry about, something go wrong. I don't have to deal with it. And it's taken care of. It's college. We shouldn't have to worry about that. Just think about it. Just think about it. It's a society of people. It's a society. Society runs because of the people. If the people are successful, the society should be successful. So you should want your people to get the education that's going to make the society a better society. But it's not that way. You got to pay all this money for school when you're getting this knowledge to basically bring back to the community, to your state or what have you, to better yourself and your family, which is going to in turn better the economy, better the system. So it's things that's clear as day that we can see that is not, that's just telling you that this government is not for the people. It's not for the people. It's not for the country. It's for the corporation, because, pay these people for medicine to save your life, pay this hospital, pay for education, pay for healthcare, pay for dental, pay. Everything is obviously not for the people. It's for the corporation. And the fact that, as I talked about with lobbyists, the fact that they exist should tell you that. And, you got to look at these programs I was talking about before. That's why they exist. Even still, they're out there to help you out, and they're going to help you out. But still, it's a company that's behind that. They're still going to take some money to put you out there. And it's today, I mean, you're looking at it now, we're not benefiting from it. Black people are not. We're not benefiting from it because we don't get the information about it. They get it all first. And then, through a hookup or what have you, or somebody we know who work at the place or what have you, put the information out, and that's how we get it. And then how we do. One person jumps on, let everybody else in. But in this case, they charge you money. So now one of the other discussions you guys probably seen was about the black vote, specifically black men not voting, black men being the reason why a lot of these African-American, people running are not going to be elected or what have you, because black men are not voting enough. The black male turnout is low, so on and so forth. Now, still a lot of states who don't allow felons to vote. And that's one of the issues. So we know you got a felony, can't vote. So this has been the issue with, black people. And another thing is they don't appeal. They don't run campaigns based on the, needs and wants of black males. They don't care. The whole thing for us is we're violent, lock us up. And then you have most black males who don't give a shit. A lot of young people trying to, be in entertainment industry, sports industry, or what have you. A lot of people are not focused on voting because a lot of us just don't see any value in it. We hear about it. We've been voting for a long time. We haven't seen it happen. We haven't seen anything come to the black community and fix it. And we back so many voters, black, white, male, female. Hood's still the same. Shit's still the same. Racism's still out there. Nothing is happening. We've been doing this for a long time. So it just don't make sense to, waste the afternoon or waste your time to go and vote. And for those people who have done it, because we did it last year, again, as I always say, we did it with Obama. And again, put a black man in the White House for 2 terms. We get nothing. That should tell you everything right there. So anytime people can pull real data that shows you that Trump did more for black people than Obama, you should think about that. So we're talking about stuff that really affects and helps black people. He did nothing. So that should tell you where your vote is going to go, and if anything is really going to happen with your vote. And we haven't seen that. So I just don't see why they would bring it up, and why they don't understand why a lot of black men who can't vote, they don't care to vote in the first place. Now, if you got a job and you're successful, then the other side of the coin is different. So a lot of these people go and vote and they just continue in the success that they already had before they voted. And they look at that and they say, well, I voted for this guy got elected. My life is good because this guy is obviously doing something to help me out. When you just basically doing what you've been doing. You're successful, you're successful. But people who are not, who trying to get successful, don't see any real benefit in voting because it's not like this candidate is going to affect me really struggling to get just a regular 9 to 5. That's my life right now. That's my reality. I'm trying to get a regular job. I'm not voting for you so you can do something with NAFTA and GATT and, LBGTQ or what have you. That's not something that's going to affect me straight away, that I need in my day-to-day life when people are just trying to get a good job and make good money, and not go back to prison. So as I said, this is a big election because it's setting the stage for what's to come. And it's definitely something you should keep your eye on and pay attention to a lot of the things they're talking about. And for people who, when you get time, you guys got to go back and start reading some of these laws, these bills that have been passed and see what's in it. It's a lot of stuff. Again, a lot of programs was created to fix the economy, to fix credit. Again, it's the Federal Reserve. They set this interest rate and they really deal with the credit. And it's better for the economy. It's just better for all these corporations involved if credit is fluctuating. You got bad credit, they can raise the interest on you. They can get more money. You got good credit, they're going to make money off you anyway. So it's a balance of it. Bad credit, good credit. The real thing is your credit history. So if you got bad credit, but you still have, a history of paying on time lately, then, you can get in the door, but higher interest rate. So programs have been created that they're not really talking about. They're on CNN talking about all this bullshit, but they're not really talking about these programs that really help the economy to get people in to build their credit, because these programs was created so they can say the program was created. We put the money towards this and only a select few. So you're going to have the poor whites who's going to benefit from these programs because they're going to go out there and people going to go out there and give them to help and teach them. Whereas the black people who really need it, they're not going to have information to help them out. So again, they're going to be able to say, hey, put these programs out. Y'all didn't take advantage of them. Put these programs together. We put money out there to help people and to help the economy. We didn't take advantage. And we can't take advantage if we don't know what to take advantage of, what steps or how to. When you think about what was happening with PUA and PPP, people had no clue. I mean, this is real money. Thousands of dollars people got. Nobody had no clue. You had to hear it from somebody who got the hookup, who helped you out. And a lot of people just figured it out, but it's because you heard it from somebody. It wasn't, the news media saying, hey, if you go and fill out here and you do this and file these. Nobody was saying that. It's, a loophole or a hookup or somebody doing some type of scam or fraud. But we don't get, this is what we got to resort to in some cases, but we don't get this straight up information to, put us on and help us get or take advantage of a lot of these programs and systems that's out there to benefit everybody. So yeah, we're going to get into all this and a lot more. But I thank you guys for taking the time to watch and see you next video.